Hello gamers, what is going on guys? It's Dan Lags and welcome back everybody to another video here on Dan Lags Plus. And guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Black Ops 4 community reveal event that just went down. And boy oh boy, what a crazy amount of information revealed at one event. We really didn't know much at all about Black Ops 4 besides the title of the game. And then they pretty much spilled all the beans. They released everything that we pretty much need to know about the game without playing it. So today I'm going to kind of discuss all the stuff that was revealed. Give you guys some of my thoughts and opinions about it as someone who's been playing Call of Duty for 10 years. So let's just jump right into it. They started off with the multiplayer reveal, which I thought was cool. Everybody that plays Call of Duty, they play with the multiplayer, right? Sometimes in the past, when they would announce new Call of Duty, they would start by announcing like the campaign and things like that. So this year they did it differently, and they announced the multiplayer first, which I thought was awesome. So to me, my first impression of the multiplayer, it looked like kind of like a Black Ops 3 with boots on the ground. So they made it very adamant. Vonderhaar made it very adamant in confirming that the game doesn't have any wall running and doesn't have any jetpacks. So of course everybody's going to cheer about that. For me personally, I liked the jetpack games, but I also liked the boots on the ground games, so I really didn't care either way. To me, it's more of like how is the community gonna react to this? So if a happy community probably means a little bit more to me than which one they went with. So obviously, if they went with jetpacks, then most of the community would be upset about that, and whereas they went with boots on the ground, more people are going to be happier about that. So either way they went with it, I was going to be all right with it, but I'm happy that the community is happy about them going without the exosuits. So yeah, the multiplayer looked really colorful. The gunplay looked really smooth. It looked like a Treyarch game from like right off the get-go. It looked like a Treyarch game. I noticed that the specialists are back from Black Ops 3, so they introduced the Firebreak back into the game. The guy with the gravity spikes, I'm missing his name off the top of my head. And the Seraph is back as well. What is the guy's name? The Ruin, the guy who uses the gravity spikes, right? Yeah, so they introduced all the specialists back into the game, and that is good to me. I actually really liked using the specialists in Black Ops 3, so I'm happy those are back. Hopefully they do some new cool things with them, but I'd be alright with them, being fairly similar. Like, I would love to have that awesome, massive flamethrower back where I can, flamethrower people from 15 meters away and insta-kill them. That was honestly so fun to do, because it felt really rewarding. In the middle of the game, and it spiced up the gameplay. So I like the specialist. I'm glad that's back. I noticed that they are adding the Pick 10 system back into the game, which is, again, from Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. So they're taking away the division system from World War II, which, again, I think is a great thing. I think the division system in World War II is the worst creative class that Call of Duty's ever introduced, so I'm glad that's going away. And another thing I've noticed that it seems like the base multiplayer is very team-based this year. So what I mean by that is they're actually changing it from 6v6 in base game modes to 5v5, which personally, I haven't played the game yet, so I'm not going to say that I hate it. But to me, that strays away from what Call of Duty is. Call of Duty is 6v6, so I'll discuss that a little bit more in a minute. They're also making it 150 health. Not as worried about that one because I imagine they'll just balance the gun damage so the time to kill feels about the same. I don't imagine that all the snipers are going to take 2 shots to kill. They'll probably make the sniper's bullet stronger so it can kill a 150 health target. They changed the health regen to where you have to actually manually regenerate your health with some sort of healing pack. And, honestly, again, this is one of those things where I'm like, I'm not so sure about it. Again, I haven't played the game yet. This is just me going off of the community event. I don't have any gameplay impressions yet. I haven't even actually watched any of the gameplay yet. I'm sure that all of the big YouTubers are going to be uploading all of their Call of Duty Black Ops 4 gameplay before they go back to Fortnite tomorrow. So I'll definitely check out some of that to see if maybe if I can get a better opinion on that kind of stuff. But that looks a little bit fishy to me. To me, that doesn't feel like Call of Duty. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later on. I noticed that they've taken a lot of things from games like Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege. So that's, I don't know. I just feel like Call of Duty needs to stop taking things from other games and start to try to make Call of Duty the way it was back in the day and actually feel like a Call of Duty game. So, again, I'm going to discuss that a little bit more at the end of the video. I just kind of want to cover all of the the actual things that they announced first, and then I'll kind of go into my opinions a little bit more. Another thing that I noticed that they added was predictable recoil, which is kind of like a Counter-Strike thing. And I'm actually okay with that. I think that'll actually be kind of cool, because sometimes when you're playing Call of Duty, your guns will just kind of wobble all over the place, and it's just like random recoil. So I feel like if you actually know how your gun is recoiling, you can master that, and you can just become like a laser. And, you know, honestly, again, I'm not really worried about gunplay. For me, the trailer looked like a Treyarch game. It looked like a Call of Duty game. Treyarch games have excellent gunplay. I'm not worried about that at all. So honestly, I'm okay with predictable recoil. That sounds fine to me. I'm more worried about some of the other mechanics. Let's transition a little bit to out of the base multiplayer and into some zombies. So the zombies looked insane as usual, and by insane I mean just literally crazy. They started off with revealing this kind of like Egyptian map or something. It was some sort of like ancient civilization. I'm not exactly really sure what that was about, but it looked crazy. It was kind of like a gladiator pit where you're fighting zombies. Pretty wild. They released the Titanic zombies map, which I think is pretty funny. You're actually gonna fight zombies on the RMS Titanic, which is pretty crazy. I wonder if Jack and Rose are gonna be there. I wonder if we're gonna hear any Celine Dion while we're shooting the zombies. That's gonna be interesting. You know, maybe the boat will start to sink while you're fighting the zombies. Like, that'll be cool. I don't know. I think that's actually pretty interesting. So, again, I have not been really that big into zombies over the last couple years. To me, zombies was great way back in the day, like in World at War, when it was like really simple. I feel like they've overcomplicated a little bit over the years, so I haven't really been as into it as much. Like, I didn't play Black Ops 3 Zombies at all. I just thought it was kind of overcomplicated. So we'll see how they do it in this game. I noticed that they also are doing a Mob of the Dead remake, which is the Alcatraz map from Black Ops 2. So that, I'm not going to lie, that has me a little excited. I think that might have been the thing in the reveal that had me the most excited, because Mob of the Dead is actually my favorite zombies map from Black Ops 2. And to me, you know, that has potential to be awesome. And I think it's just great that the zombies team is releasing 3 different zombie maps on launch of the game. Like, that's 1/3 of the total number of multiplayer maps that Sledgehammer released for World War II. So, I mean, it's obvious that Treyarch is a step ahead of Sledgehammer in this aspect. So that's cool. I'm glad for the zombies players. I'll probably definitely check it out. To me, the Titanic and the Mob of the Dead intrigued me a lot. So I'll definitely be trying the zombies out. We'll see if I actually like it when it comes out. Again, I'm more of an old school zombie player. Like, I like maps like Derice and Verrucht, like the really simple maps, which is why actually Zombie Chronicles, that DLC that came out for Black Ops 3 last year, was actually like one of my favorite DLCs, because that was exactly what I was looking for. It was like the old school maps and the old school feel mixed in with some of the newer features of zombies, like the gobble gum and some of the new weapons. So I thought that was awesome. I would love to see the zombies play like that. If it plays like that, I'll be excited for it. Alright, so let's get to the biggest part of the reveal, which was the Battle Royale. Oh boy. I mean, I honestly, to be honest, if you put a gun to my head and you asked me, were they going to add Battle Royale to Call of Duty, I probably would have said no. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it. So Vonderhaar came out and he was all hyped about it, and they were talking about, you know, we drop into a big map and you got to survive. It's a Battle Royale. Everyone's getting all excited. To me, I'm a little over Battle Royale, personally. I know it's super popular still, but I've just played the hell out of it, so I'm kind of over it a little bit. But, you know, if Call of Duty adds a cool new spin to it, and the gunplay and the mechanics of it is really, really good, which I expect it to be if you know, it's a Treyarch. So, you know, I'm just imagining something like PUBG with the, you know, actual smoothness of Call of Duty, and to me, that sounds great. So I noticed that they were talking about how, like, they were going to make references to all the old school Black Ops campaigns and zombies and multiplayer maps within this big Battle Royale arena. To me, that sounds intriguing. Like, I would love to be able to run from, like, Nuketown, like, you know, run maybe 200 meters and then be on firing range, or like all the classic maps, or even like, you know, campaign missions. That seems to be what they were kind of referencing, and that sounds great. So, I mean, honestly, the Battle Royale mode, I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm sure that'll probably be the most played game mode throughout the year. So, you know, I'm not personally as excited about it as, you know, the next guy. But if it's really good, then I'll probably end up playing it a lot. Anyway, last thing, they kind of mentioned that there's no campaign in the game. And I'm alright with this, because, to be honest, the Call of Duty campaigns are pretty cookie cutter. To me, they seem the same every year. You know, you just kind of spawn in, you run like a linear route, you kill all the guys, and then you win. You know, that's basically the campaign. I'm totally alright with them taking it out. I know a lot of people like campaign. For me, I don't care about it. So if that means that the dev team is putting more effort into multiplayer and zombies and Battle Royale, as opposed to spending their time on campaign. To me, that sounds great. So I don't care about no campaign. I understand that some people like it, but that's just not me. So anyway, that's kind of like everything that they announced. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit and let me talk about some of my personal opinions on the stuff that they announced. So I noticed that this game, they really made a lot of references to replayability throughout this, reveal, especially at the beginning when Mark Lamia was talking about how they want this game to be the most replayed Call of Duty. So that's, I think, one of the other reasons why they took the campaign out, because you play the campaign one time and then you never play it again. Whereas now with the Battle Royale mode, you can play that over and over and over. The zombies, you can play it over and over and over. And of course, the multiplayer, you can play over and over and over. So to me, replay value was important for this game because I think they want it to last more than 1 year. Because I think Activision is looking down the line and they're saying, wait, after this Treyarch game, we have to go back to Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, and we can't rely on them to make a great game. So we have to, we can't rely on them to make a game that's going to last, if that makes sense. Personally, I like Infinite Warfare and World War II, but I understand that those games died out pretty quick in terms of like the large majority of people playing it. And that might be because of Fortnite, but ultimately I think it's just because the games were just average. But anyway, it's clear that they're going for replay value on these games, so that's obviously the reason for the Battle Royale, the reason for the no campaign. That's kind of what they want. And to me, I'm a little worried about too much things changing. Again, I'm okay with them experimenting with zombies. I'm okay with them experimenting with Battle Royale, but the base multiplayer worries me a little bit because it seems like it's like super team-based this year. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just don't think that's how Call of Duty players play. To me, Call of Duty players usually play solo. Whenever you're jumping into a COD lobby, you never hear any mics plugged in, or there's no communication unless you're playing with a party. So I just worry that solo players are kind of left out in the dark here. I play most of my Call of Duty solo, so I'm worried if I go into a game and it's so team-oriented, if I can't communicate with my teammates and I'm going up against a team that is communicating, we're going to get stomped. Whereas, like, in current Call of Duty, I can actually carry a team to win, to the victory, without really having to communicate with them. So that worries me a little bit. The game seems really team-based. I noticed that they made a couple comments about TDM. TDM is like based off kill-death ratio. They won't even show your kills, your deaths anymore, so they're really trying to make it so people don't care about that. I just don't think that's going to work. People jump into TDM just to shoot. They don't jump in to like play for the win. They just want to jump in and shoot some people. That's basically how it works. And that's why I play TDM when I'm playing. TDM. If I want to just play casual COD, I just jump into TDM. Because it's super simple. You just run around the map and you shoot whoever's in front of you. I feel like if you're making it too team-based, that kind of gets away from COD's roots a little bit. I noticed that they're making changes like domination as well. And, I'm already used to plenty of domination changes from Sledgehammer games. But to me, I feel like I would like to see some sort of classic COD mode where, there's just like classic kills to get your kill streaks on maps. Simple as that. Like old school game modes. I just worry that the base multiplayer is changing too much. And, that's fine as long as it feels like a COD game. And I do trust Treyarch that they'll make it feel like a COD game, because, again, from the reveal trailer, it did look like a Call of Duty game. It looked like a Treyarch game. It looked like the gunplay was smooth, all that stuff I mentioned. So I'm going to trust Treyarch before playing the game that it's going to feel like Call of Duty. But I just worry with so many additions from other games. Like they're bringing in mechanics from Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege and Counter-Strike. Is it really still Call of Duty? You know what I mean? So that remains to be seen. Again, I'm going to watch some more gameplay. Maybe I'll make a second Fallout video or something like that. But, I don't know. I just feel like public match in Call of Duty has never really been that team-oriented. So I feel like trying to force it to be team-oriented could ruin the fun of it a little bit. But again, I haven't played. I noticed that they announced League Play as well. So that's cool. Hopefully it's similar to Black Ops 2 and people can grind that because that was pretty popular back then. And yeah, I didn't see anything about the War Game mode, which is what I'm playing right now on screen for you guys, World War II gameplay. I didn't see any of the War Game mode. I don't think that's coming back, unfortunately, which is my favorite thing to play in World War II. See, now that game mode is objective-oriented. Everybody plays the objective in that. And I fear that they're going to try to make every game mode like the War Game mode, and I just don't think that's going to work. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Those are kind of my opinions on it. As long as it feels like a Call of Duty game, as long as it has the 3 pillars of Call of Duty, good maps, good streaks, and good weapon balance, I should be alright with it. Again, as long as it feels like COD. They have so many new features in this game with the Battle Royale mode, the new zombies, like tons of new features to the base multiplayer. To me, if you're going to experiment with new features, I would experiment with battle royale, and I would kind of make the base multiplayer more like old school. But again, they're going all in on like future mechanics with this game, and really taking Call of Duty to a new level. So we'll see how it plays. Again, in Treyarch we trust. Treyarch has never made a bad game. World at War, Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, all 4 games were excellent. I expect Black Ops 4 to be excellent as well. I do have some skepticisms from the initial community reveal, but maybe those will get ironed out as I see more gameplay. So thank you guys for watching. I might make a follow-up video like as we get closer to the beta, if more information does come out. But it's that time of year where COD gets all hyped up. Let's see if this game actually lives up to that hype. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Dan Lags. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.